I think I'm live. Duncan, are you here? I'm a little bit discombobulated right now. Okay, I'm just going to assume I'm live. I've got a green light. I've got a ticker that's counting up in seconds. And I've got audio levels coming through. I've got my video. Looks like we can see everything. Okay, today I'm going to build... Oh, hey, Duncan. Thank you for coming. Appreciate that. Today I'm going to show you how to build real quick. Ali, what's going on? Yes, you can hear. Thank you so much for coming. Hopefully this helps you with your build. And it shouldn't take more than 20 to 30 minutes. So yeah, almost bedtime. Get to bed. All right. Today I'm just going to show you real quick how to build this kind of thing that I got going on here. So this is the home page, and these are 5 CMS items. If I click one of them, it goes to an FAQ page. It's got a CMS connected FAQ that opens up the item right there, and then all these other ones can open up as well. So that's a quick little demo, and let's hop into how to build this thing. I'm going to come into Designer. I've already got a skeleton project going, but I'm going to show you the basics of what we are building. We're going to be using URL search parameters, which are these up here in the URL bar, the question mark, and then a property tab number equals 1. So we're going to be using that to click on different CMS items on this FAQ page. That is the overview. So I've got the CMS here. Let me start there. This is my FAQs. These are some silly little jokes that I found. All it is a question and an answer, and we'll say that those are our FAQs. On the home page here, I have a collection list with items, and then it's just got a link, and the link is the question. I'm getting the text from the FAQ. Can I zoom in on that? Yes, I can. So cool. And then page, we're going to choose a page here. I'm going to choose the FAQs page. So these are all going to go to the FAQs, but we're going to write some code to append the search parameters to the end of that. So I'll go ahead and close that down. And now let's build out the FAQs page real quick. Going to drop the CMS collection wrapper in there, and we'll link it to our FAQs CMS. And then I am going to build this out using one of my components from my components library. I happen to have an FAQ section. I tend to reuse these a lot, so I just went ahead and built one. Okay, so that's copied, and I'll paste it actually outside of the collection list wrapper. But what I want to do is just take one of these and put it in as the item. So coming through my tree here, and I don't want the item, I want the question and the answer. So I'm going to just hold down Option and drag this question under collection item, and hold down Option and drag this right under the question. And now I don't need this component that I copied in from my website anymore, but I got everything I want from that. And so for the question, we're going to link this text to the question field in our CMS. And for the answer, we're going to link that to our answer. And this, you'll notice there's an interaction here. All that is opening and closing on click. And we're going to use the JavaScript click function to make this happen. So let me go ahead and publish this. That should be all the setup that we need. I guess I should chuck an H1 on here, just so we know where we are. Publish that again. Okay. And if we refresh here, you know, I've been having some problems with load times on webflow.io domains, and it looks like it's gonna plague me on this one. I get this 503 cache error. Oh man, that's gonna be a bummer if this doesn't work. Okay, well the FAQs, yeah, this one, first byte timeout. Not sure what's going on there. Haven't written any code yet, I can't break it. Anyway, so we see we've got our FAQ, and then if I come to home, that's okay, good, it's working. We just have to force it. Anyways, but if I click this now, it's just gonna go straight to the FAQ page, and it's not opening what we want to open up. So let's go back, and I'll open up Inspector, and I'll zoom in for you a bit and kind of walk through what we're going to do with our code. Let me bring something up here. Okay, so we want to select all of these, and right now we haven't even added a class to, actually we did add the class of item, and we want to target the link here, right? So we'll target the class of link by saying const links equals document dot query selector all. This one here, let me make this even bigger. And we're going to target the class, so put the dot there, of links, or link, I think it is. Yep, link. So if I click enter and then I look at links, we see it's a node list and it's got 5 links in there, so that makes sense. What we're going to do is we're going to loop through all of these and change the href attribute to tab number, to something custom, essentially. So if I get the first one and I access the href, we see we get the whole link there. But if I say plus equals, let me do a template literal and say tab number, and then equals, well, I can't show you here, but if I said something like equals 1, now I've changed the link on this item, why did the tomato turn red, to FAQs tab number equals 1. I should have put a slash here. So let's say links of 1, because that's going to break when I click it, plus equals slash tab number equals. This one I want to be 1 actually as well, so didn't do a good job of mapping what index they are to what link they are. Anyway, so now we can see that the first one, which is going to be what you call a fake noodle, so let me expand that, has this new URL on it. And if I click it, page not found. That is because I put a slash and we want the question mark. So let's go back. I'm butchering this. That's what happens when you do it live, I guess. Hey, John, how you doing? Thanks for popping in. So we're going to redo this. We'll get our links, and we'll say links of 1. Let me actually, we should have that saved. Links of 1 dot href plus equals, and rather than a slash, I'll put a question mark there. Tab number equals 1. Now, I don't have any code running on the FAQ section yet to read this, so nothing's actually going to happen, but we know now that we can change our links programmatically and come to the FAQ page. And now in the URL, we have access to this tab number equals 1. If I say let URL equal window.location, and then I look at URL, we can see that URL is this JavaScript object that has a bunch of this stuff we're interested in. Most particularly, we're interested in the search property right here. Now, we could just say search and then kind of like provide some string manipulation to remove this question mark. But JavaScript, the browser also ships with a URL, essentially constructor. So I can say URL equals new URL of, what is it called? The URL that we already just passed. Or I could say window.location. Now we have this fancy URL object that we can say search params is what we want to do, .get, and then we'll put our custom string in there of tab number, and hopefully we get 1. I'm going to press enter, and we get 1. So right on. And what we'll do is we'll use this index to click on the first one or whichever tab number that we pass. So let's go ahead and start writing the code. I think I've kind of gone through enough of the theory that we can do some code sandbox. So let's grab this here, come over to Webflow. On our home, we're going to need some code. Let's say script source equals this slash home.js. Oops. And save that. And then on the FAQ page, I should have copy pasted that. Oh well. FAQ.js slash script. And we'll save that and make sure that we publish. And let's create those files now. Let me zoom in for everybody. We'll call this, what did we say, home.js, and we had a FAQ.js. And here we'll just console.log home and make sure that we are running our JavaScript. Oh man, it's not loading again. What a bummer. Wonder if I can load the FAQ page. Oops. Not found. Anyways, this finally loaded and we console logged home, so that's good. Let's see, are there any questions? You guys go ahead and ask questions right now, but otherwise I'm gonna dive into the code here, just doing all the stuff that I already explained. Not seeing any questions. So the class of item, that's the one I want to target on home. We're going to say const links equals document.query selector all the class of link. And let me get rid of this sidebar now so that this hopefully looks a little bit better. And we'll say links.forEach. And this gets a function that I'm going to get the parameter of the link, the object itself, and the index it is in that node list. And now I'm specifying a function, and we're going to write all of our logic here, which is just one line of logic really. We're going to say link.href plus equals template string question mark, what did we say, tab number equals, and then we're going to pass the index variable into that. So if I save this and come back to the main page here, and let's go ahead and reload. And now we can see, let's see, we're not loading it yet. Did I write that in the right one? Save. Reload. Oh, this probably, no, that's not it either. Class of link. Let's just log links real quick. It's empty. That's not good. This is home.js. It is loading. Query selector all link. This should not matter, but yeah, I save it and it just, let's get this here. Copy. Huh, it's working here. Maybe it is running too fast. Let me come to my resources page, and we'll look for this Webflow loaded event. I feel like this wouldn't be, oh, you know what? Where did I paste the code? That's why. I probably put it in the head tag. I need to defer this script. That's exactly it. So let's go ahead and defer that one and save. And we'll defer this one as well. So what's happening is that our code was running before the DOM was actually built. Something I screw up all the time, to be honest. John Saxon says, no questions, just weirdly enjoy watching people write JavaScript, even if I can't write myself yet. I thought you were a developer, so let's see. Then writing ChatGPT scripts. Yeah, I'm excited to explore that. Somewhat unrelated question. Benefit of Code Sandbox, just that it's easier to refresh than to publish. Exactly. Yeah. For larger projects, I'll use like VS Code and TypeScript because I'll get much better autocomplete. But hope that answers your question, John. So back in Code Sandbox, where am I at in time? 14 minutes? And this is already taking longer than I expected. Sorry, Ali. Hopefully, and Duncan, I know you're up late here. But so I'm going to move this inside. And what this line of code does is waits for Webflow to be ready. And once Webflow is ready, then it will run our code. So let's go ahead and save this and come back to the home page and refresh. And now we got a node list populated. Okay, we're cooking with gas. And let's inspect the links. Now we can see that the link, so the very first one has tab number 0. Second one has tab number 1. Remember, node lists and things in JavaScript and code start at 0, not number 1. So now we've got all these links going to where we want them to go. Thanks, Ali. So let's click this one. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, and it's going to take forever because for whatever reason, I don't know if it's me or Webflow. I want to blame Webflow because I can load up Google really fast. But now we're going to write the code that exists on our FAQ page. This is just the demo one, so that shouldn't exist anymore for now. Let's bring this over here. What am I doing with this thing that is it FAQs? Yeah. I'm getting this first byte timeout. It's so weird. I want to blame Webflow so bad. Okay, it's loading now. And this one loaded too. Anyways, let's press on. I need to open our FAQs JavaScript file now, so I've got it here. And I will shut that down. FAQ page on this JavaScript. Come back to FAQs and reload. We can see we've got FAQ page. Let me just double check. So we deferred this script. So we need to add our little Webflow ready code. So I'm going to grab that here. Come back to Code Sandbox. Drop that in. We don't need this console log. Now we need to get that query parameter, right? So we need to get that question mark tab number equals 3 thing, and we want to get this value of 3. The way we'll do that is we'll say let URL equal window.location, and we saw earlier that we can just get a URL object by doing this syntax here. I'll put a link to the MDN documentation on URL, but I don't think there's any need to go to it now. And then we will say let tab number equal URL dot search parameters, I believe it was, dot get, and we want to get tab number and save that. And then we also need to get all of the FAQ questions, because those are the ones that have the interaction on them. So this is the thing that we want to click. So I'll copy this class here, this FAQ1 underscore question, and come back to Code Sandbox, and we're going to say let question elements equal document.query selector all. Pass in that class. It's a class, so I need to put a period here. And let me console.log question elements, and I'll console.log the tab number as well. Come back to our FAQs, and we've got this in the search bar, but I clicked refresh the page, but if I put the question mark and then say tab number equals 3 and click enter, we should get our tab number showing down here. Right now it's showing null because I clicked refresh, but we are getting our node list of FAQ questions. Now if this thing ever refreshes, we're expecting the string of 3 to come down here. All right, it refreshed and we got null, of course, which is a bummer. Why did we get null? Because I typed tab number, not tab number. Now do we have to, is it going to make us wait through this refresh all over again? It is. Do you guys know the answer to all these jokes? Typo in number. Yeah, thanks, John. Appreciate the backup. Anyways, let's assume that that's going to do its thing. And like, I can go to google.com. Oh, this is going to Gmail. I don't want to show you guys my Gmail. Got that weird byte timeout thing. And then I go and it works, of course. Anyway, so now we're seeing 3 down here in the console, so that is good. Oh, the zoom's not working down here for some reason. Oh well. Let's press on. We've got our tab number and we have all the question elements. So we want to loop through our question elements with a for each loop again. And we'll call this question element. And we want to get the, actually we don't even need to loop through them all. We'll just say question elements of tab number dot click. That is all we need to do, and save. And let's try this one more time. And now it's clicked this third one here and it's showing. If I had confetti, I would pop some confetti. But that's, Ali, that should be everything you need to do. One thing to look out for is if we don't specify this tab number, we're going to get an error in our console that it can't read properties of undefined, reading click. So what's going on here is that it's trying to run code on stuff that doesn't matter or stuff that doesn't exist because we didn't click the link from our home page. So we can protect our code just by saying if the tab number doesn't exist or the question elements don't exist, then we'll return, which means we essentially exit our code and none of this actually runs. Let's delete these console logs so that this line won't run. I come back to here, let me refresh, and you can see now our console is clear. This is working, and then we come back here. Let's just make sure that, let me go back to the home page. And we'll go ahead and click the last one. How many programmers does it take to change a light bulb? None. That's a hardware problem. Thank you guys for tuning in. Are there any questions? Otherwise, I'm going to turn the stream off. Hit me with the dab emoji. Thank you. Hit you with the party emoji. All right, that's